sharing this moment, this type of a game. For all the teachers who said we'd never make it, we're here.
And we talk these last couple weeks about the buildup, the anticipation. I think these guys are just ready to get out there and get this thing started.
And I know that both coaching staffs have spent considerable time trying to figure out how to best bring their team up to a peak without taking them over the edge and causing a lot of issues early in the game.
And you don't think much of a pregame speech is needed for this one?
I think the pregame speeches were the shortest all year. If they didn't just say, let's go get them, guys, they probably talked too much.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved. Able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guy's. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. It's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
And he goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Now Wentz goes underneath for Sproles. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line.
Some people call it a shuffle pass. Some people call it a shovel pass. All you're trying to do is open up the middle of the field, flip the ball forward. In this case, they didn't gain any yardage.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by the
touchdown, Philadelphia, with a first touchdown of this Super Bowl and a long one at that. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. And on the grandest of stages, with the whole world watching the Super Bowl, they come out and get the first points.
I don't know how you feel about Brandon, but for me, watching the beginning of the Super Bowl, I've often wondered how come it's not just a fumble fest? How come the ball's not all over the place? The nerves, the interim in between of the 2 weeks waiting for the game. But this team came out and handled it just like it was a regular season walk in the park. Terrific start.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. 5 plays there on that drive. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Elliott now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a fourth-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
And what really attracts people to him? A passionate leader, controls a huddle really well, controls the locker room, and also throws with anticipation and accuracy, especially evident when he throws the deep ball.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. The starters now on offense, and Stefon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries, but boy, has he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stefon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
On 2nd down, Cook. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. And the defense now for the Eagles.
Jordan Hicks battled a lot of injuries while at the University of Texas, but his last season there played up to the potential they saw when he was coming out of high school. Well over 100 tackles, ranged from sideline to sideline, could also drop into pass coverage, and now uses his intelligence to run the entire Philadelphia Eagles defense from the middle linebacker position.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. On play action, Cousins. And incomplete here on 3rd down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. Sproles, the return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, that it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
To throw, it's Wentz. A dump off to Sproles. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing now is Wentz. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 14-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. They'll run it now out of the gun. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
So 1 quarter down here in the Super Bowl. 14-0 is our score. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, and they've got it here with a 1st down. Handoff comes to Cook, and that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Cravon LeBlanc with a pick. A 2nd time. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Doug Peterson says, let's go for two here. They'll try and run it with a jive. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for two, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Now a play fake here on first down. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 23 yards on the play.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there, coming out the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective 3rd down play to move the chains. They'll run with Cook. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. Throwing is Cousins. And a pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Nigel Bradham able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jordan Hicks in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
And Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
7 yards on the play, and that'll make it second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
This is Ajayi. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Now Wentz on third down. He's going to rifle one deep left. He's got a man complete. The 20, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Elliott now to kick this one away. And you see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. Thus far, this Super Bowl has looked less like a contest and more like a coronation. And to call the second half, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The halftime show, quite a spectacle, but it's back to football for the second half of Super Bowl 53. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Kirk Cousins now, the centerpiece of our player spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Starting the third quarter with Cook. A gain of 3, second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Second down, Cousins. That is incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and it's third down.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. Throwing, Cousins. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside, not easily covered. And then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Room to run past midfield. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Again, this is Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Now a second down throw for Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a third down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Cousins, and he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 18 yards there and a first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On the ground, it's Cook, and it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy right now to try and open things up in the run game.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. 4th down now looming after Philly's defense stands tall in coverage.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on 3rd downs, and it's caught.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Well, that field goal block pretty much sums up the day for them, doesn't it?
Boy, it really does. What's the word we often use? Symptomatic. It's just been a sign of how this one's gone.
Give a lot of credit to the guys that got in and blocked the kick. They've had the advantage all game, and they continue to press it.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Wentz. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker, maybe.
That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Throwing on first is Wentz. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Xavier Rhodes, the cornerback, there in coverage. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 4th down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A first down throw for Cousins. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Cousins again. And this one is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Vikings on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Haloti Ngata with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction, because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I can tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
To throw is Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Linval Joseph with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So I just bring...
And how about this, a fake? Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Following the interception, Cousins. Pass incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They'll run it now out of the gun. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over, is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run through the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins. It's complete to the Traoré. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Time for a break. We're back to crown a champion after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Cousins now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And now it's 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Now Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Cousins again. And a 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And Bailey able to knock it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up to try to score.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
An incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. How good has he been throwing the football, though? And despite that incompletion, that's just the 3rd time he's been off target this entire game.
And, Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. Complete left side, the tight end Rodgers. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On play action, Wentz. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Well, they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Wentz now to throw. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. 3rd down here. I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception. Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag. No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3. Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position. And that's the key to everything because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Cousins on 1st down. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over. And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots. Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back? Extend it. Have some fun. Wentz to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone. And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now there's...
Gonna get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Cousins. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And spinning now. And he's into the clear. Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And the Lombardi Trophy will rest in the city of brotherly love. The Philadelphia Eagles are the Super Bowl champs. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. And what a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.